Quality versus quantity. This is a centuries-old debate in the glossary of warfare. During the defeat of Boudicca, the Romans had managed to defeat the British people led by Boudicca. The Roman army, led by Gaius Suetonius Paulinus, was heavily outnumbered, and yet it defeated the British people only on account of better tactics and equipment. In the 16th century too, the Spanish conquered the Americas despite being outnumbered simply on the basis of superiority in equipment. So, quality and not quantity is what often wins you a battle. This is exactly what China doesn't seem to understand. China is building a large navy without quality, and it is not going to win China any battles when things go down to the wire. There are visible signs of the huge Chinese navy turning into one of the most monumental failures in human history. China has the world's largest naval fleet. It is also building its third aircraft carrier, but it has no sufficient space to dock its fleet, and its entire luck depends on India allowing it access across the Strait of Malacca. The aircraft carrier, meanwhile, has no fighter jets. And then there is the added weight of the fact that China produces substandard equipment from toys to clothes to warships and fighter aircraft. For China, cheap and poor quality has become a soft power flex. And having a substandard navy does not evoke fear among China's enemies. The Chinese navy scares nobody. In fact, it emboldens them. Hi and welcome. This is TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I am your host Sanbir Ranhotra, and in this video I will tell you how China has a remarkable showpiece navy which absolutely nobody is scared of. Which adversary will you choose? One who carries a lot of pomp and show, or the one who is underrated but can inflict a lot of damage when matters escalate? Of course, you will choose the one with all the showbiz but little glory. This is particularly true of the Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy, also called the PLA Navy, and its fishing militias. PLA Navy is the largest in the world, with around 350 ships and submarines. Yet, no one fears it, and despite being accorded special shooting powers earlier this year, the Chinese warships and Coast Guard vessels seem quite harmless. In fact, they get routinely chased away by smaller navies like Japan, Taiwan, Vietnam, and India. Similarly, France, the US, the UK, and Australia too don't feel intimidated while entering China's backyard and carrying out freedom of navigation exercises. Take the case of Taiwan. It is a tiny nation separated from China by a narrow strait. Yet, Taiwan doesn't really get bothered by Chinese warships. On Saturday, the Taiwanese Coast Guard Administration's eastern branch claimed that it had chased away two large Chinese fishing boats near Taiwan's Orchid Island. On June 28th, a Taiwanese Coast Guard Administration patrol boat had seized a Chinese fishing vessel following its failure to stop for inspection. The fact is that the PLA Navy is all about pomp and show. It probably satisfied the fat ego of an average CCP hardliner to claim that the PLA Navy is statistically the largest. However, the PLA Navy is mighty on paper and toothless in water. There is nothing confrontational about an average Chinese warship. All it is supposed to do is intrude into the adversary's water and get chased away without inflicting any harm. For example, China is building its third aircraft carrier called Type 003, expected to be launched this year. It is built to be the largest ship in the Chinese Navy fleet. We don't doubt that China will be able to build it in time, but the catch is China doesn't have any fighter jets to equip its gigantic 003 carrier with. So, the Chinese Navy will be practically operating a gun without any bullets. So, don't be surprised when you read that Vietnam chased away vessels with Chinese flags, or that Vietnam has created a huge fleet of fishing boat militia which can dominate the Chinese vessels. Similarly, Japan frequently chases away Chinese vessels that infiltrate into the Japanese waters near the Senkaku Islands. In fact, China is really intimidated by the Japanese vessels. In order to find an excuse, China claimed that it was exercising self-restraint in using weapons and chasing away Japanese vessels. Well, this is all that the largest navy in the world can do: exercise self-restraint and avoid confrontation. In the Indian Ocean region too, the Indian Navy tracked a Chinese research vessel last year. In December 2019, a Chinese naval ship was forced to retreat from India's exclusive economic zone in the Andaman Sea. The PLA Navy is simply incompetent to confront its rivals. China keeps making boastful remarks, warning other powers against entering the South China Sea. But when the UK's flagship aircraft carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth entered the South China Sea despite prior warnings by Beijing, the PLA Navy literally couldn't do anything. It exposed the cowardice and incompetence of the Chinese Navy. In fact, Germany, India, Japan, Australia, UK and the US are set to conduct a massive military exercise in the South China Sea in a show of strength against Beijing. The Indian Navy too will deploy 4 warships in the South China Sea for 2 months. And quite clearly, China won't be able to do anything about it, though a few Chinese state-run media houses might write a few bellicose reports about the massive military exercise. Presently, Beijing has asked Berlin to clarify its warships' intentions in the South China Sea. Now, if China is really a ferocious naval force, it wouldn't be begging its rivals to issue clarifications, nor would Beijing's rivals dare to enter the South China Sea. The fact remains that the incompetence of the Chinese Navy is well known to its rivals, and they are able to show their strength against China quite fearlessly. The oversized Chinese Navy is thus becoming the largest joke in the world, instead of becoming a fearsome military power. It is beautiful, spacious and airy, and completely harmless.